So we're going to provide an overview of our process, review highlights of New York Life and myself. I'm going to gather some information on your current situation. I'm going to clarify your goals and objectives, and I'm going to review some possibilities to help you get to your goals. We're also going to set up a follow-up meeting where I'm going to present some solutions to you to help you get to your goals.
Okay.
We're also going to review some possibilities of others you may know that might find value in the process that we do.
Perfect.
So really the overall reason why we're getting together today is really to get to know each other.
Okay.
I'd love to get to know you, your situation. Love to share with you a little bit about myself, what I'm about. Really the way that we do that is I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. I'm going to answer any questions that you may have for me. The overall process will allow you to get to know your situation a little bit better and allow me to know if I can help you.
Okay.
To share with you a little bit about New York Life, I represent the New York Life Insurance Company. We've been around for more than 168 years.
Okay.
We're the oldest and largest mutually owned financial services firm in the country. As of December 31st, 2011, we have over $337 billion in assets under management and $17.9 billion in surplus. We actually ended last year with $22 billion in surplus.
Wow.
So we have increased our savings. What that really means to you is that the financial integrity of the company is intact. We also have the highest possible rating from all 4 rating agencies.
Okay.
Sounds pretty strong, doesn't it?
Yeah, very.
The process takes a snapshot of your current situation, identifying your goals and the areas of protection, accumulation, and distribution to work with you on accomplishing them. Are you concerned, like many others, about securing your financial future in the face of recession, a global economic crisis, and unknowns that lie ahead?
Yeah.
So 2007 was the beginning of a volatile time for us. We saw a lot of different things happening in the economy. We now call that the Great Recession. Many personal investment portfolios suffered and large institutions struggled financially or were considered too big to fail, teaching us all a great deal about the dangers of taking undue risk.
Don't read it. It's pretty obvious you're reading it, so don't read it. Look at this. I'll help you if you get
Okay.
stuff. You're a great
What New
reader,
York
though.
What New York Life did is we did a stress test on our surplus.
Okay.
So we looked at 3 systematic collapses, such as a flu pandemic that, God forbid, many people were to pass away.
Okay.
Long durations of low interest rates, as we saw happening in Japan,
Mhm.
and the systematic collapse of the economy.
Mhm.
And we found that even through this, not only would New York Life remain sufficient, but we would actually still maintain the highest possible financial ratings from all 4 rating agencies.
Great.
We have a strong enough surplus to withstand that.
Have we ever needed capital from anybody?
We've also never needed capital. We've never taken any TARP money. New York Life has always been self-sufficient in its 169-year history.
That's incredible.
As your agent, my role is to essentially help you get to your goals. I'm a problem solver. Some of the areas that I help in is helping you and your family meet your obligations, whether it be basic life insurance planning, business and estate tax planning, business succession planning, and any other type of planning that you may have, which may also include helping set up a college fund for your kids. Have
Great.
any of those ever been a concern for you?
Oh, yeah, right now, the college thing. I'm a little nervous.
So we'll definitely talk about that, and I'll show you some areas that I can help. Here's a little overview of how I help some of my other clients.
Okay.
Some of the areas that I work with specifically in, that I specialize in, is providing essentially financial security for you and your family, not only in the short term, but in the long term as well.
Okay.
We also help our clients receive an income for life for those who are getting ready to retire.
Okay.
What stage would you say that you're in? Would you say you're in the accumulation stage, the distribution stage, or are you building your assets? Are you looking to retire in the near future? What stage would you say you're in?
Well, when I look at those, what stands out to me is the education funding, like I mentioned. And then, obviously, if I could have lifetime income, I would love it.
Okay.
So those are kind of the biggies in my mind.
We'll definitely help you out with that as well.
Okay.
So most of the needs that fall into these categories are business, personal, and estate.
Okay.
Essentially, what we look to do more than anything is to maximize your savings and returns and minimize your taxes and risks.
Okay.
Which would you say of those two means the most to you?
Well, right now it's just savings. I'm not worried about taxes. I don't make enough money to be worried about taxes just yet.
Okay. So there's 3 ways that we can actually help you meet your objective, and the 3 areas that you can utilize are insurance, savings, and investments.
Okay.
So to give you an overview on really different stages of your planning is, the first step is your foundation.
Okay.
First, you have to protect your family's lifestyle
Mhm.
so they can meet the growing family needs that you have and start a savings plan.
Okay.
Then when we go to the growth and wealth accumulation phase, what we can find is that you're going to continue to save and grow your wealth,
Mhm.
protect your savings and retirement nest egg, plan how you'll replace your income during retirement, and then when you retire, that's the distribution phase,
Mhm.
where you're going to generate income, live well throughout your retirement, leave a legacy, and protect your retirement plan. Really an all-encompassing plan.
In case you're curious, we're probably somewhere around here. I think we're probably doing a little both. Kind of trying to save. I don't know what protecting my family's lifestyle is, but I'd like to do it. Whatever.
So that definitely, protecting your family's lifestyle is, God forbid something should happen to the breadwinners of the household,
Okay.
what would happen to the household?
Okay.
And that's a key area that New York Life plays a role in conjunction with helping you plan for your kids' education and plan for your retirement.
Okay, we'll need to talk about that.
What you see here is really a bucket, and what this bucket signifies is really your wealth. And there's different funnels that go into the bucket
Okay.
that feed your lifestyle. These are your personal assets, your business assets, your life insurance, your government program. And that's
I don't
really
get any government program.
not yet, but at retirement, Social Security income.
Oh.
If you're working for, if you've done military service, anything like that, that's all going to supplement your retirement.
Okay.
We see a lot of money going in, but the question is, how full will your funnel be? Now, we can't just rely on government programs. We gotta rely on ourselves.
Okay.
See, the reason why most Americans have a problem with their retirement is it's not that their plans fail; it's they usually fail to plan.
Oh.
U.S. Census Bureau did a survey on 100 people at age 65 and what their wealth was like.
Okay.
And what they found is that out of 100 people, 12 passed away,
Okay.
9 have an income of over 65,000,
Mhm.
13 have incomes of under 14,570,
Mhm.
and 66 have an income between 14,000 to 65,000.
Mhm.
And this great country, 66% of Americans are living, at poverty or below, and only 9 really are retiring the way that they want to.
Oh wow.
And the real reason for that is there's only 9 that plan. Now you can choose to be, the 9% or the other 91%.
Yeah, I want to be in the 9.
We're gonna take care of that for you.
Good.
Now earlier we talked about the funnel and how full your retirement funnel would be, but one thing to consider is the siphons that come out.
Mhm.
Now throughout your life, you're gonna have unexpected expenses that may come up that may deplete your retirement savings, might deplete the college fund for your kid, which you said was very important to you.
It is.
Some of those would be taxes, inflation, bad investments, disability,
Okay.
lack of discipline, longevity. God forbid you just don't make it to retirement. Who's going to pay for the kids' education? Who's going to take care of the retirement of the family?
That's true.
Who's going to take care of the household? Cash is needed at death. Debt liquidation, emergency fund, your mortgage,
Yeah.
medical expenses, final expenses. Where's that money going to come from?
Okay.
So really the first step is we're going to think about your goals.
Okay.
Then we're going to prioritize your goals. Then we're going to develop a plan and take action. We're going to make sure that we're going to make a list of what's most important to you to least important, and we're going to take care of the most important matters first.
Okay.
Then we're going to update and review the plan at least once a year.
Okay.
Life changes. Average American moves houses every 7 years. Your life changes. You might get a promotion, you might get a demotion. God forbid, we're going to go for the promotion. You might want to venture off, go into business for yourself. We don't know. I'm going to be there for you along the way.
Gotcha.
And finally, you're going to hit financial independence. Now, if you look at it, to go from point A to B, or 5, that's a big gap. But if we take it one step at a time, and we take it, one breath at a time, it's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
And
Is there a problem here though?
time is not on your side.
Okay.
Now, you're 25, you look like you're 18, it's wonderful, but we're going to really take a look at what you have in place, because every day that you wait, you're losing out to compounding interest on your money.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to get younger, you're never going to get healthier. Now is the time to do it.
Got it.
Now, at this point, really, in order for me to help you out properly, I need to do a real overview on what you currently have going on.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you some very detailed financial questions, and the reason why I ask these questions is I want to understand what you're currently doing to achieve your goals. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what you have going on.
Okay.
We're going to identify what your specific goals are.
Okay.
We're going to put a timeline into place to do them. Just like when you go to your doctor, the doctor's going to have to ask you some personal questions to diagnose you.
Yep.
I have to do the same thing to your finances. Everything that we share is confidential.
Okay.
If anyone hears about what we talked about, you decided to tell them, not me. Does that sound fair?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Now, do you actually want me to go through the whole fact find or just the budget commitment?
Budget commitment is fine. You can launch right into that.
Okay, so Samantha,
And if you need to sketch anything out, just let me know.
okay,
On the back of this.
I'll take sketch.
Okay.
So here we have your take-home pay, your fixed and variable expenses. Between you and your husband, you're taking home $10,000 a month after taxes.
Okay.
We found that your fixed expenses are $7,000 every month, which leaves $3,000 left over.
Okay.
Now, if we look on this page here, which I like to call your balance sheet, I noticed that you only have $5,000 in savings.
Yeah.
What stands out to you?
Where's that extra money going every month? I guess.
Correct. I mean, not only did I take into account your expenses, but I actually added a $1,000 buffer for, toys for the kids, random Christmas gifts. You have $3,000 left over every single month after all of that, and you only have $5,000 to show for it.
That's embarrassing.
It's not that it's embarrassing, it's normal and it's common. Like I mentioned earlier, the reason why most Americans don't retire the way that they want to isn't because their plans failed, it's they just simply failed to plan.
Okay.
What's happening is when you go to the restaurant and you wanted a steak, you decided to get a couple shrimp cocktails as well.
Mhm.
When you went to the grocery store because you needed milk, you ended up spending $300. I can't remember the last time I went to Costco and spent less than $200. It's impossible.
I know.
And you just buy whatever you see because the money's there. You don't have a systematic plan.
It's true.
We have another piece missing here as well. What would you say your most valuable asset is?
Oh gosh, it's the house, obviously. I mean, we don't own it totally, but it's definitely our biggest asset.
It's actually not. The biggest asset you have is actually yourself.
Really?
It's the ability to earn income.
Oh, okay. I never thought of it that way. That's interesting.
If the housing market crashed, you might move into another house, you might buy another house, you might rent an apartment, you might do whatever you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as you have the ability to earn income, you can always purchase another home. If I took your income off the table, that house isn't that big of a deal. Your earning potential is a lot higher. Let me put it to you this way. If I put an ATM machine in the corner of that room and I told you it's going to spit out $10,000 every month,
I'd be very excited.
what would that be worth to you?
A lot.
More than your house, right?
Yeah, because it's ongoing.
Well, you're that ATM machine.
I never thought of myself as a money machine before. I like this.
Well, that's what it boils down to. Now, of your $3,000 that's left over, we're going to break this down into three categories. We're going to put $1,000 towards short-term goals, $1,000 towards midterm goals, and $1,000 towards long-term goals.
Okay.
Because you don't have a lot in savings, I'd like to spice that up a little bit. So we're going to put $1,500 a month into your savings account. We're going to build that up. We're going to make you more liquid.
Okay.
I'm going to work with about $1,000 to $1,200 to meet your retirement goals, your insurance goals, and you mentioned that planning for your child's education was very important to you. I'm going to include that in as well.
Okay.
We're probably not going to hit all of the points. The most important thing is protecting you first.
Okay.
Now, there's three different ways to plan out how much insurance you need.
Okay.
The most commonly used method, very interesting method that most brokers use, is called the dartboard method. And it's a really interesting method. Now, here's how you do it. You get a bunch of Post-it notes. You lay them all out. You put random numbers on them.
Mm-hmm.
And you put them up on the board. And I give you a dart. And you throw it in whatever Post-it you hit. That's how much insurance you need.
I think that's what I did the last time.
Yeah, usually about $500,000 or $1 million is usually what most people do.
Yeah.
That's not the method that I use.
Okay.
As a financial professional, the way that I like to calculate how much insurance you need is how much money would I need today to generate $10,000 of income? If God forbid something happened to Samantha,
Mm-hmm.
how much would I need right now today to replace $10,000 every single month?
Wow, that's a good point.
Now, if we assume that you got, I don't know, somewhere between 4 to 5% on your money, if you invested it, maybe you bought, some real estate at a 5% cap rate, you'd need about $2.5 million.
Wow.
That's how much you're worth. Now, there's different types of insurance that we can use to accomplish this.
Okay.
We're going to use a combination of them.
Okay.
And we're going to make it as effective as possible, and we're going to maximize your income tax efficiency while we do it as well.
Okay.
I'm going to go back to my office and create a very detailed report for you, and at our next meeting I'll present that to you.
Okay.
But the dollar amounts I'm going to be using is I'm going to show you what $1,200 is going to get you in terms of your insurance, your retirement, and your kids' college.
Uh-huh.
And we're also going to put you into underwriting for $2.5 million.
Okay.
Is there anything that you wanted to talk about today that we didn't get a chance to cover?
I feel like we've talked about so much more than I thought we would. So no, right now I'm taking it all in.
So absolutely wonderful. What I'd like to leave with you, and one final note about me is I'm always in the position where I love working with individuals that care about their families. I have an 18-month-old myself. First thing I did for her was plan for her college. Those are the people that I feel I can relate to the most and help the most.
Okay.
I'm going to leave this with you, and what I'd like you to do is think about some people that you think I might be able to benefit and help. And
Okay.
after you see my report on really what I can do for you, if you find value in the work that I do, I'd like you to make some introductions for me.
Okay.
Does that sound fair?
Mhm.
And if along the way you think that you're comfortable, don't hesitate. Don't keep me a secret.
Oh, okay. I'm with you. I can do that.
So wonderful, Sam. Well, thank you for your time, and that's really it for today. But before I go, I need to know when the best time is for you later in the week for us to get together. For me, usually Wednesdays work best,
Okay.
but I'm usually in this area Wednesdays and Fridays. Which one of those days would you say is better for you?
Let's do same time next week, Wednesday at 5.
Sounds great.
Perfect.